For today's episode of Future Figures for Photography, we're doing something a little different. We're going to talk about everything that has caught my eye at the San Diego Comic-Con. So let's get to it. Of course, before I get too big into that, Toypixx is all about helping you and helping me get a whole lot better at our action figure photography, which is basically why these action figures have caught my eye. I think they're going to look purty in front of the lens. So if that sounds cool to you, go ahead and click subscribe. And let's just get to this. Let's not waste any more time. Okay, this first image we're looking at, it has nothing to do with San Diego Comic-Con, but anybody who's been watching this channel for a while knows that I'm a big fan of MOTU. And what we have here is a Batman with the yellow oval, the pill utility belt, and Bane. Those are going to look awfully pretty on my shelves. I have to say, I know I'll get Bane. Bane is a necessity. Batman, I would love to get him, but that'll depend on how Toypixx is doing at the time that pre-order goes up, because he is kind of my Batman, one that I grew up with, but I also really dig the Hush Batmans that I have, so we'll see. We'll see when it comes to him. This next picture, I love the full color stuff. And what we have coming out from MOTU is Poison Ivy for the Batman Hush line. Wow. She looks great. I mean, it's everything you expect from MOTU. Look at all the details around where the plant kind of bikini is. It's not just a flat line, it's not just painted on. You've got all the plants wrapping around her legs, around her arms. That head sculpt looks insane. Man, I don't know what else I can say about MOTU. I've never gotten a figure and thought, man, I sure wish I didn't get that. I'm just blown away, and it seems the skin color looks spot on. I don't know, folks. Let me know in the comments what you think, but she's going to have to be a pre-order. Right now, from their showcase that MOTU has going on, it's going to be Poison Ivy, and it's going to be Bane, and possibly that Batman. I haven't seen much on the Marvel side that I'm really all that excited about. They did show Webman, but that's Webman. I don't need Webman. I barely need a Spider-Man. Okay, totally need a Spider-Man. And now we're on to SDCC proper with this first pick here. This, for all you Masters of the Universe Origins collectors, looks absolutely insane. I'm checking it out right now, trying to zoom in a little bit. Let's see, I can't get much zoom on it as I'm looking. But you guys won't get any zoom at all. But all the detail on this thing, on this Eternia playset, is insane. And from what I've heard people like Pixel Dan talk about when he was doing his walkthrough of this, he said it pretty much looks like a new playset. It doesn't look like we're getting a whole lot of remolded stuff here. I'm not an Origins guy, but this just looks cool. This brings back memories of the way back when. And all the figures they've got around that. There's a bunch of Snake Men down there. If you're in on the Origins line, you're in for a treat. And frankly, I'm jealous because that playset just looks super cool. Whew. Alright. Let's talk about the next thing. NECA Mama. I always enjoyed that little impression. NECA is showing off some dinosaurs figures. I don't know how deep in the line they're gonna go, but holy crap, these things look perfect. I don't know how many of you actually saw the show when it was on TV. I did, and I'm blown away. I always thought it was hilarious whenever Earl would walk in. Earl's the big dinosaur here, and the baby would just look at him, and instead of calling him Dad, he was not the mama. There was the mama and the not the mama, and I don't know what else to say here because they've captured the details so perfectly that I'm not looking at these and thinking, oh crap, they really got a bunch of stuff wrong. I'm looking at these and thinking, holy crap, I'm really remembering this show. So yeah, I'm blown away. It's not a line that I'll get into, but I loved the show when I was younger, and if you do get into this line, NECA looks like they're gonna knock everything they do with these things out of the park. I started recording right around 6:15 Eastern, and so I've seen a lot for the day, but I'm sure I haven't seen everything because there's still some time to go during the day, plus there's the whole weekend, so there's going to be a lot I don't get to talk about in this video, but one thing I do get to talk about is the Marvel Legends HasLab. And if you look at that, it's very clearly a Ghost Rider tease. Now, I don't know about all of you, I've always thought Ghost Rider was cool, and I'll be honest, I don't know much about the character. I just know the design is awesome, and I'm wondering what all this is gonna be. Like, if we're taking it to speculation time, maybe this could be a set that has, say, Mephisto and Blackheart, some of those more demonic characters that you don't expect to find in the aisles at Target and Walmart. But you could also have a Robbie Reyes car, you could have horses, you could have motorcycles. I will be honest and say that I'm not into the Legends figures, thanks in large part to the waist cut. If they were to do something and gave them like the ball waist, I'd be a much bigger fan, but that waist cut just kills photography for me. But if in this set they're going to release Robbie's car, some motorcycles, whatever other kind of vehicles, a horse, I mean, I'll look at it, I'll price it out, and I'll have to make a determination at that time if it's really worth it. I don't know. Maybe it won't be. Maybe I'll say, you know, there's just not enough here. I mean, to be honest, I've got the Mezco Ghost Rider on the way, so the motorcycle will be covered. But the car, that car, depending on how nicely they make it, if this isn't too insane price-wise, I could see me going nuts just for the car, and selling a few of the figures afterwards. Now, if I'm being honest about who I think has had the best showing, bar none, at San Diego Comic-Con, it would have to be NECA. This picture here of the cartoon turtles, it's not a line I'm into, I'm not into the cartoon aesthetic, but just this, how insane, how deep they've gone, how much love the people that work on the Turtles lines have for the brand is just totally evident in this picture. Just one of those things that caught my eye, and I'm looking at it just excited about the possibilities of their comic lines, because I know that since they went this deep with the cartoon stuff, if the comic lines prove pretty successful, they're gonna go just as deep with those, and this just has me super stoked about it. I realized while I was recording that segment that I didn't have any pictures for the basement sets. They made 3 basement sets that will be available for purchase. Again, not for me, but just the level of detail and the insanity. I'm remembering the 87, 88 Turtles cartoon, where they're singing about how Donatello does machines, and in this picture, we're looking at the machine, which is insane. There's also the baby turtles that crack me up. You got Usagi Yojimbo, you've got stuff just all over the place on here. You've got a little face from the Turtles in Disguise pack hiding in the back. You got, I think that's Usagi's dinosaur at the top of this. Just, that's what I'm talking about with these things. The level of detail here has me super stoked for whatever they do with the Mirage Studios line specifically. Now we're looking at stuff that I never thought I'd be the least bit interested in, but I'm looking at a picture right now, same as all of you, of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters mashup line. When I first saw Raph, I was like, well, that's kinda cool, and then I saw Leo, that's pretty sweet. Then Mikey's my favorite turtle, and when I saw him, just like, oh man, this is tough. And then I saw, like, right now, this is the first time we really got to see Donnie. And looking at him is just, he's insane. He's incredible. And listening to Trevor be interviewed by Veebs on The Whoosh, the love that they put into a line like this, because, like he was saying, most everything they have to do based on license and what things look like from other media, but with these, they just got to go nuts. So in a million years, I never thought I'd be interested in this line, but I don't know, man. I'm looking at these right now thinking, I might dive. My problem is, if I dive, I might dive all the way. I'm not sure I'll have the, what do you call it? The good fortune, maybe withholding things. I won't have the ability to stop myself from kind of going all in on the line, and that's where the trouble is as a collector. I'm sure several of you feel the same pain. And now for the line that Mr. Stabby, my wallet, threatened to kill me over. We have the Mirage Turtles. NECA has knocked it out of the park with these guys. I know a lot of people talk about how they're a little roided up and all that, but that is what a lot of the later Mirage Studios run, what they look like. So I'm not at all upset by this. I will have to go back and do a whole lot more Mirage Studios reading. I read up through the part where Splinter and Don decided to stay at the farmhouse, so I'll have to read beyond that now, just so I can catch up and figure out what other Easter eggs people are going to throw into this line. But the 4 turtles look amazing. And if I look at Mikey, again, my favorite turtle, he looks like he's smiling back there almost. They all look like they have the same bandana, like not the actual part that's hanging down or to the side, but it almost looks like the top half of their heads are all the same, but their mouths have all the character. Maybe I'm wrong though, could be, I don't know, I'm just looking at them kind of quick. What really impressed me here is the Triceraton. The way that they did around that hood, that frill area, how well sculpted it is, it just looks insane. They look like they put so much detail into that thing that it's unbelievable. Like, this line has me super excited. And then we go over and we see, oh look, Splinter. They're giving us Splinter already. Now, I don't think there's any information about when these things are going up for pre-order, but the 4 turtles, Splinter, looks like there's an extra Utrom that shows up with Splinter. This stuff's insane. I can't believe the work they're already putting into it. You've got the Shredder clones as well, who look really cool. I wish I'd gotten the one with the crab hands, but it was Loot Crate. I didn't feel like it. Now I'm going to suffer that and probably end up paying a ton on eBay whenever I finally decide to go for them. Yeah, I'm just in love with this line. And I wasn't a NECA guy. The only NECA figure I have, in fact, is Fugitoid. So NECA's going to get more of my money. It's going to be NECA, their Mirage Studios line, probably a little bit of Last Ronin, possibly some Universal Monsters, Moth-X, and G.I. Joe Classified for the foreseeable future when it comes to the lines that I'm really loving. And then there was this little ditty. Now, things like this, they make me sad, and here's why. I had the knockoff turtles. I sold them, I broke one of Leonardo's swords, and just felt like, if it's only going to be the 4 turtles, what's the point? Because I never got the black and white turtles, I never got April, never got the Loot Crate Shredder there, never got the Foot Soldier and Shredder set, never got the Mousers exclusive, and so I kind of thought, well, those things are way too pricey. I'm not getting them. There's really no point to having the turtles if I can't get the villains. So, yeah. Then they decided to restart Mirage Turtles. So yeah, these make me sad. I'm likely never going to go back and get those ones that I missed out on. I guess there's always a possibility if I become a toy billionaire, which I fully intend to do, but on the other hand, it does also show us the future. And we've got the Utrom, we've got Fugitoid, which many of us already have. We have Casey coming out, Renette there. Trevor did hide a little blue helmet for Renette, to show us that, yes, they are coming out with one that is Mirage Studios colors instead of the IDW cover. This Claw Shredder, oh, like I say, I want to track him down, but who knows, the aftermarket prices probably went crazy when they showed the Shredder clones at SDCC. And then, of course, we've got Splinter, the Mouser, the Utrom, we've got Zog, the 4 Turtles. I mean, I'm just super stoked about that line, how deep they're going to get. The Archie Turtles, they don't really interest me that much. They have a real cartoony look to them, and like I've said in the past, I'm just not that big into it. But the fact that they're starting with the characters they are starting with shows that they fully intend to go deep with that line too, which is really cool for people who are fans of Archie. And then you got The Last Ronin. I still haven't read the story. I probably should get on that. I have the 2 Last Ronin figures on pre-order right now. And depending on what I think of the story, I might end up going and getting some of those other ones. But who knows? But for now, looking at this sheet, I'm going to have to start marking some of these off and just realizing I'm not going to have the whole thing, which is okay. We should never worry about being completists, but if I'm being honest, I'm probably going to worry about being a completist. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for my SDCC recap so far, a special episode of Future Figures for Photography. They look good. Comment below and let me know what you think of SDCC so far. What are things I didn't mention that caught your eye that you're really stoked about? And what do you think of the stuff I did talk about? Because I'm excited. I really like the way this stuff looks, and I like the way the Mofex stuff looks too. As always, I'll be sure to leave links in the description below to anything I find that maybe you can get. So with that said, gang, thanks for watching. Thanks a ton for liking, commenting, subscribing, all that. Hanging out on me with this crazy little toy YouTube journey, because frankly, it's kind of fun. And now, until next time, have fun and happy snapping. See ya.